Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 795. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Morning, Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
Getting very close to 800 now. 795. 5 away from
you're
800.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Your
That is
math skills
math.
are impeccable.
That is certainly math, yes.
Yeah, I know. We'll be celebrating our 800th episode with a commentary, as scheduled right now anyway, of the other respectable Torchwood episode, because we're doing one today, which is Small Worlds.
Time, right?
It's out of time, is episode 10, yeah. So how about that? We planned it that way, of course, out of time. Get it out of time. 800 episodes time. Not really. But yeah, episode 5, Small Worlds, written by PJ Hammond, is our commentary for the Torchwood Revisited series today on the podcast. But first, the banter. The real reason you're here is the banter.
No.
Proper.
I'm hopeful everyone survived the Cyberwoman commentary last week. I mean, we only just scraped by.
It was touch and go there.
It was something, all right.
For a little bit there, because there were parts of it like I forgot that this happens at the end. I forgot that they implanted it in the brain of the pizza delivery driver, because I completely forgot about that as we were watching it. What are you gonna do? I will say this news update: by this time next week, all 3 of your esteemed hosts of Radio Free Skaro will have had their first shot.
I am the laggard
of COVID-19. Yeah, no, I had mine. Erica and I went on Friday to the drop-in clinic here in Edmonton because AstraZeneca is made available for we Gen Xers, and everyone in Alberta said, yes, sign us up. You indifferent baby boomers sitting there on the fence whether you want AstraZeneca or not, and thinking, yep, it's tough. Yeah, we'll take it, and we all did.
We'll take whatever you got.
Yeah, I had a sore arm. I still do have a bit of a sore arm. I had some aches and pains over the 24 hours past that, but apart from that, I'm fine. So it's pretty cool.
I intend on Thursday when I get vaccinated to yell, "Please fill me with the swarm," and get a blank stare in reply.
Yeah, I didn't drop any deep cut and invisible enemy references to the fine medical staff.
What are the other disease ones you could deep cut? There's Lazarus syndrome, I think. No, wait. Yeah, that's a process.
Lazarus disease.
One? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The one Nissa gets infected with.
Yeah, and then there's New Earth, which is ridiculous because they just say, let's put all the cures in the ventilation system and spray them out. And just that'll cure people. That's how it's done.
That's science right there.
Who knows?
That's true. It is science. Yeah. Anyway, gives me hope for the future, obviously, being vaccinated, being, even the first dose is really effective after 2 weeks once it's sort of really fully started coursing through your veins and stuff like that. And the second one is just sort of like a bonus kind of thing, like dessert,
Yes, vaccinated dessert.
Vaccinated dessert. Well, it gets me to thinking about, and Chris, I am jumping around deliberately in the news list for this just because, there are events that are being planned for. Like New York Comic Con, which is returning in October with a reduced attendee count and social distancing and masks and all that, and it makes you think, oh right, these are these things. So they say.
Maybe it's a year of being constantly disappointed by everything, but I just heard that news and I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. Just like when I see Shang-Chi only in theaters, I'm like, sure, Marvel, sure.
When's that coming? When's that? October, August,
September or something?
September,
mid-September, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. You know what?
Gotta wait for Jung Kim to make his.
I have no problem with paying $30 to watch on Disney, but that's probably how I'll end up watching it.
I mean, I'm just thinking, I've been trying to get a different source than Post Media here in Canada, which was quoting the Telegraph. So take this with a grain of salt. But I mean, they were saying about how the UK, for all their faults in the first year of this pandemic, has actually done a good job at coming out of this because of the lockdowns plus the vaccination program, that like it's getting close to being herd immunity in the UK from what I gather. And it's, you know, they're weeks away from having, you know, enough people vaccinated and enough people having had it in the first place and also being vaccinated that they, you know, they're opening things up. There's a BFI screening. BFI screenings are now happening. June 12th, they're doing one for Dragonfire at the BFI for the season 24 launch, which gives you an indication of when the season 24 box set is coming out. It's coming out in when did we say it coming out? August here, August 3rd in North America. I'm just going to
say this. If I was going to chance getting COVID, it wouldn't be with Dragonfire.
That's not the one, eh? Yeah.
No, not at all. Deadly Assassin, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Not the hill you would die on, literally or figuratively.
No, it would not.
Yeah.
No, I would die on.
It just, you know, I feel like as long as this past year has been, excuse me, you know, things have sort of been sudden. Like, I just had in my head, I'm not going to get my shot until June, because there's sort of the general population, June to September, maybe you can get a shot. And then all of a sudden,
Same
like
here.
within like, oh, you know what, let's do AstraZeneca for 40 plus. And within a week, we had a vaccine. And so like, I'm already ahead of my personal timeline by like 2 or 3 months. And, you know, and sure, we have to, they're sort of in Canada, they're waiting like 4 weeks in between, or 4 months rather, between doses, but that's basically so they can get as many first doses into as many people as possible now. But like at some point, maybe the supply will increase and that second dose won't be 16 weeks away. It'll be like, you know, closer than that. And all of a sudden, look at that, you're vaccinated.
Hopefully closer to the 3 or 4 weeks that was originally intended.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, at the very least, by mid-August, when you factor in like the 2 weeks that the vaccine has to go through your body and stuff to be actually properly effective, I will be fully vaccinated by mid-August. Mm-hmm. Like, why don't we do things? If people are like me, which there's going to be a lot of people because we're sort of in the you know, the basic category, so to speak, then I feel like there's going to be a lot of other people who are also fully vaccinated. So like, it's tough to think about it right now because we're still like, you know, cases are going up. We're in the third wave here in Canada and everything. It's like the prospect of going anywhere right now still feels kind of frightening and stuff. But like it could turn very quickly if we're all getting vaccinated. So
there are a ton of 20-somethings and they haven't gotten vaccinated.
They haven't. That's true. That's the one thing.
Except in the U.S.
It's 16 plus anywhere now.
Yes, all states have opened up for anyone to get a vaccination if they want one, and we definitely encourage it.
Very much so.
But like spring of last year, we were supposed to go to the UK for a couple of weeks, and that fell through, obviously. And we keep trying to decide when to kind of remount that effort. And later this year is kind of what we're hoping for. Yeah. And I mean, like November-ish, and that seems doable because that's still a little better than 6 months away, and there's a lot that can happen in 6 months.
That's true.
A lot of good that can happen in 6 months.
Yeah, a lot can't happen, and a lot of good can happen. And it's right now it's tough to think about the future that far ahead, but then all of a sudden things begin to improve really quickly, and hopefully we get there.
Well, like you talked about just how rapidly you got your. You went from like nothing to having a shot in your arm. Mm-hmm. I got mine just 3 weeks ago now. Yeah. 3 weeks ago yesterday as we record. But I didn't even. I had the group of people I fall into was available, but not my age group.
Right.
But some pharmacies were taking whomever, and I found out from a coworker who's not even 30. Who qualified for the same reasons that I did. She's like, "Yep, this is a Saturday afternoon." She's like, "Yeah, I found the pharmacy last night," and she was in the the Saturday afternoon, and she told me about it. And I'm like, "Oh, cool." Let Kat know what was going on. She kind of did some poking around, and she was able to secure a shot for me that night and shot for her the next day. And so, yeah, same for me, but quicker. It just went from, I don't know when it's going to happen to, All right, cool. It's done.
It's happening. You're in it. You're in line.
Same
You're
here.
right there.
I've got several other offers from other pharmacies. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm going on Thursday.
Yeah, I had to cancel a bunch of because I signed up for wait lists and stuff, and I got them all from Save On and Shoppers, a lot of drugs. They go, nope, I cancel you, cancel you, cancel you. Yep. So things can get better, folks. Free will is not an illusion after all. We can choose to change, and then we can go to events again and see each other and have fun. Remember those days? Remember those days?
No, don't recall.
At the BFI and at the New York Comic Con in October and Gallifrey One next year.
For whatever it's worth, just to kind of round out a little bit more on that front.
Sure.
So the Reed Pop, who runs whatever New York Comic Con, the link in the show notes also talks about other stuff that they run. So Florida SuperCon, Emerald City Comic Con, and C2E2, which is in Chicago. They're all planning on physical events.
The other thing, though, is that because of what they've had to do for the past year, and not just them, I've done a ton of work conferences where it's all virtual. That's not going away. Emerald City and New York Comic Con, all those guys are doing virtual side stuff. TCAF, which is happening in a couple of weeks, which is a great sort of small press comic thing in Toronto, they're going to be all online. And it's kind of good that I'm not in Toronto, but I could still, quote unquote, go. You know what I mean? So I don't think those are going to go away after this is done.
No, I think a lot of people thought, well, this we could just do all these things on Zoom all the time. I think we'll be tired.
No,
of
there'll be
Zoom. A
mix. There'll definitely be a mix, but it'll be good that they still have this other stuff because not everybody can go to these things.
I agree. I think you also get stuff done quicker. I always think of Doctor Who metaphors and analogies, and I'm reminded about how in the classic series of Doctor Who, directors were often in the control room and sort of relaying their directions to the floor assistant and stuff to pass on with the rest of the cast, and it would take a lot of stuff. And the reason that Graham Harper directing from the floor, because he cut down that level of could you tell this person to do this and there's a lot of time being saved by Graham Harper just being on the floor telling his actors directly what this is. You can get more done in a short amount of time, and that's kind of what I see as in-person conventions and stuff. It's when especially policy conventions, I feel like you can get stuff done quicker when you're in person. I find
that's all true, but
even beyond
there
that,
is
I mean,
from too.
Yeah.
From an economics standpoint, because at least for the next while, events are going to have reduced numbers and whatnot. They can still theoretically sell online access to things and try to recoup that difference.
Yeah,
we said this before all this happened, that San Diego Comic Con are kind of remiss in not selling an online version for cheaper, where I can't go to see all these things in Hall H, but I could watch them on whatever. Why not do both? There's an extra stream of income afterwards.
What's a Comic Con membership like?
I don't know.
A few hundred or something?
Oh yeah, a couple 135. I don't know. It's up there anyway.
And always tough to get. So why not open it up a bit and show people what they want to see?
I know New York Comic Con has had some of their panels live streamed and stuff, but you know what? Yeah, pay $15 for a weekend. There you go. You get to watch whatever panels you want. I mean,
if they're smart, they'll charge more than that. But
it's still something nominal though. Make a few bucks back. Let people have access.
Or if people want to feel special and it who waited overnight, then make it a couple hours later. You see those panels. That's fair.
And maybe you don't have all the hullabaloo trailer premieres or whatever. That's fine.
Oh no, they will. That's what this is for.
Even
virtual or in person, that is what those things are. They're trailer delivery systems.
Very true. Less so for New York Comic Con, but certainly for San Diego. But which still is going ahead for Thanksgiving weekend at last report. Which people would be probably wanting to do other things at Thanksgiving.
I don't see that happening.
You know what? That's actually a way to if you want to open up to a full in-person event. Actually, doing it on Thanksgiving is a great way of thinning it out a little bit to make sure not too many people come, because people will be going to Thanksgiving for the first time in 2 years.
The other thing is, besides the comic book aspect of it, a lot of what San Diego Comic-Con generally is here's what we're working on a year from now. Here's the new trailer for it. Well, that schedule's been thrown completely out of skew. A bunch of stuff's coming out in September, that's been waiting around. And so there'll probably be some teasers and stuff, but it's going to be way different than it used to be.
Yeah. It will be interesting. Interesting indeed. But get vaccinated and you can attend these things when they are.
Indeed.
Yeah. Christopher Eccleston is he's returning to Big Finish. I don't know if you heard that, but he is. And Big Finish put out a listener Q&A on their YouTube channel, actually on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel this past week. And he answered some questions. It was neat. I liked watching him answer questions again, and it took me back to that blessed time in February of 2020 when I interviewed him on stage. I just thought, I miss talking to that guy. I had such a good time to talk to him that I thought I would want to sit down in that studio again for an hour and talk to him.
Please tell me that some internet wag spliced in the footage of him yelling about garbage in Kent or wherever the hell it was as an answer to a question.
Garbage.
Remember when he was on Instagram and he just had that big rant about?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone did that, but
come on, Pip Madley, you know what you have to do.
Yeah.
What are the villains watching this week? They're watching that.
God, I love that. The villains are
it just gets funnier every time to see the villains just blankly staring at whatever he's put on there.
I just love it. Pit Medley on Twitter is a good follow. So the links to the show notes if you want to watch that the Q&A with Christopher Eccleston. We also talked about the Dragonfire thing coming June 12th. I believe Mark Ayres is going to be there amongst others probably. This is interesting. The Bill Baggs video, BBV, released a whole bunch of Doctor Who videos back in the day, and they've sort of like made their way on.
They're on Amazon Prime. At least
I know there's a bunch of them on Amazon Prime.
Some of them are, yep.
There's one called The Doctors, I think, which came out for the 30th anniversary of the 40th. I can't remember. 40th, obviously. It was like basically a documentary about Doctor Who, and they had various clips of what would turn out to be John Nathan Turner's last on-camera interview. I think it was shot in 1999. But the entire interview has never been released on DVD or VHS until now. Thanks to BBV, JNT Uncut. The complete unedited interview with John Nathan Turner is coming out in May. You can pre-order it from BBV Productions. JNT.
Huzzah.
Yeah, they've used that clips from that interview session a lot in like a lot of the
DVD VAM,
Blu-rays and stuff too. Yeah, so
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see the full thing coming together at long last. It's only £10.99 too. It's not a lot. Probably not region free, I'm guessing.
Maybe there'll be a digital version down the line or something.
I would like that. I would like that to be a thing. Although I do have I have several different external hard drives now because I bought one and then I wanted to play some UK ones, so I bought a second one and made that one like exclusively PAL. And now
exclusively POW DVD.
It is, I know, but I keep forgetting which one it is. I should put like a UK flag on it or something to tell me which one it is. But
need a BBFC classification sticker or something.
That's
just put the picture of the little girl with the test pattern.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. But just this past weekend, I got a third one because I wanted a ripper. I wanted a burner, a DVD burner, folks. I bought a DVD burner and a short stack of DVDs. Why? Because I'm doing those for my own use only.
Because you're insane.
Recons. And I thought, well, I can't just have these existing on a hard drive. They have to exist on a disc on the shelf next to all the rest of them. So,
or they don't count.
Yeah, exactly. So I bought a DVD burner. I don't know what software there is even anymore. Like it's so this is
probably Toast.
iDVD, or whatever the hell the Apple used to come out with in 2000.
But it's I found a free one online that I might like. It might just sort of like be high school yearbook motif, just because I don't care about the interface as much as I did back in
Well, you're not alone. Nobody in studios cares about the interface anymore either. So
true, actually. So I might just use one of the free templates. Just whatever. The episodes are on DVD now for me, and I can watch them. But so. Undetermined if that's going to be PAL or NTSC, but probably the latter. Anyway, that's the recon update. I'm sure you were all waiting
with bated breath
to tell me about that. Coming from Big Finish, Torchwood Empire of Shadows comes in August, featuring Sean Parks as Zachary Cross Flane. He is great. The Impossible Planet, the Satan Pit. I actually forgot that he was apparently a Torchwood agent in the far future.
They worked for the Torchwood Archive.
That's
right. Totally forgot about that too. So
yeah. I totally forgot. I'm just thinking I've watched that episode a few times and I've totally missed that bit of dialogue. Oops.
Oh, that's because it's said and it's there and it's gone.
Yeah.
And that was the season when everything was hint, hint, Torchwood, hee hee.
That's true, actually. I forgot about that, too. Anyway, so they're working them in the universe. So that's pretty cool. Comes out in August, as I say, Torchwood. The whatever it's called. Empire of Shadows. There we go.
Empire of Shadows.
Empire Shadows, yes.
Empire of Shadows. Links to the show notes if you want to pre-order that as well. Other audio things. There's a new release coming. We don't know many details about it right now, but London 1965, because of course, this is great. I love it's Beyond the Doctor series. It's an audio CD being read by Jamie Glover. It's about Barbara and Ian in London 1965. That's about all we know about it right now. It's the link's on Amazon. It's read by Jamie Glover, who of course played William Russell in
Adventure in Space and Time.
Thank you very much.
And a Big Finish as well.
And now of course he plays
that whole
Ian
cast is
in the David Bradley ones. Yeah. And he's reading this. I love the fact that there is official Doctor Who merchandise now titled after a meme on Twitch from like 3 years ago.
This is basically the Doctor Who equivalent of renaming the power droid as Gonk after the internet created that.
That's true.
It's basically the same thing.
I know it's called a power droid, but is it really? No, it's not. It's called a Gonk droid.
It's Gonk.
Yeah. So well done, Doctor Who on Twitch. That magical time that created a meme from Ian saying London 1965. Now there's some canon fiction with an official BBC Doctor Who logo on there and everything. That's official canon. Is this official canon? PCAP. You remember him, Peter Capaldi? One was Doctor Who. He, among with like about 8 other Doctors who celebrated a birthday in the past week and a half. He is reading.
There's like big clusters in there.
Right, David. It's Tennant, Davison,
and him,
and Capaldi. Yeah. All celebrated birthdays within a week of each other. It's quite a week for Doctors Who, and PCAP is reading 1984, the George Orwell classic, read by Peter Capaldi. You could get the full audiobook on Audible, but you can listen to the first 2 chapters for free. And why wouldn't you, Peter Capaldi, reading things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although the picture and the links in the show notes, it's an Instagram thing. He looks like a pretty wicked ass DJ right there. Actually,
I'm more curious to know. So looking at this page on the Instagram site, which, as was remarked earlier before we started recording, on a computer looks terrible compared to the app by design.
Stuff to do, yeah.
But just looking at a couple of the related images beneath this one, where Capaldi's got the super long hair, and now in this black and white shot, he's got reasonably short hair. Yeah. Like, are you disappointed at all, Stephen?
No, it's good hair. Listen, he's always had good hair, and I think I'm a fan. I think I'm a fan now. When you think about it, if I had to choose one, it'd probably be short-haired Capaldi. Actually,
What the hell is going on?
I like
that's
both.
a 180 from a few years ago.
I like them all. Listen, I've got long hair right now too because I haven't been getting a haircut the past.
It's ridiculous.
Year.
Like I knew you hadn't had a haircut, but when you posted your picture on Facebook about the vaccine shot,
I know
I could not get over the length of your hair.
As a follically challenged man, I was very offended.
Yes, it was a personal attack towards you, Warren.
It was a personal attack.
No, I'm looking at that.
Everything else is.
I'm looking at that haircut, and like it's slightly longer on top, and like, yeah, I could do that. But mind you, I've put on like about 15 extra pounds during the course of the pandemic that I'm not all pleased about. And I'm thinking if I get like a short crop haircut, my head might not be as slim as it was.
The key here is to grow a really big, long, terrible beard. And then just talk about Unix all the time.
Yeah, cannot.
Don't say anything that makes any sense.
No,
because Unix guys don't anyway.
I've barely shaved in a year, and you couldn't even tell. So
I'm wear a fake beard like the Monty Python guy.
I suppose I'm looking at the PCAP thing, and can I pull that haircut off? Maybe I can. I don't know.
Can you pull off those headphones and that jumper?
That's the thing. I look at that and I think it was PCAP Daft Punk because we never saw them. They had the helmets on for so many years. Is that his way of saying I've got headphones on because I was a DJ?
I still refer to the new Suicide Squad movie as War on the Bouffant. That's the whole
such
movie
an affront. It was such an affront. It's amazing how many we blame. What was it? Was it the Hound of the Baskervilles? I think that forced Tom Baker to cut off his trademark locks. We blame that movie you just said, that DC movie with
Suicide Squad. Yeah,
Suicide Squad forcing PCAP to cut off his hair. I mean, there's the whatever movie that Matt Smith was in, forcing him to wear a wig for the last few episodes of his Doctor Who run.
What movie was that? I don't remember.
Oh, Ryan Gosling won. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't go down very well. So he shaved his head for nothing. and had to wear a wig. Anyway, PCAP reads 1984. It's good. Get it. Let's talk about some Kickstarters. Only one technically, because it's to bring awareness to this, but we don't even have to. The folks behind the Lytton comics are now doing one for Paradise Towers. That's cool, right, Warren? You love Paradise Towers.
See, I have no love for Paradise Towers. However, I do have love for people taking these little side stories and making comics out of them. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it works. Paradise Towers probably works better in comic form. Let's face it.
Yes.
It's about Kangs and stuff, and the Kickstarter has launched, and they've already surpassed it by 4 times.
Okay, I have a question. As I'm a terrible person, I didn't, and I should have contributed to the Lytton Kickstarter. I just never got around to it. So, can I get this stuff now anyway? Or is it just for Kickstarter people?
I don't know that. I think it's just for Kickstarter people, but I don't.
Oh, well.
I don't know how Kickstarter works fully to explain your question there. Maybe other people listening here, Warren, can tell you.
Like, I would expect to pay more, right? But which I'd be happy to do. I just never got around to it because I'm useless. But but I would like to read it at some point.
I don't know. I'm not going to start saying anything because I might be wrong. But so I'll just stop saying things and move on to the next Kickstarter thing, which wasn't we're not telling you about because it's important for you to know, because it was the prisoner one that we talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago. That we signed up for an alert for, and then I was like literally one of the first 10 people to pledge for this, thinking, oh, I really hope this prisoner action figure Kickstarter hits their goal. They've crushed the goal, folks. They've crushed it. With 31 days to go, they've got $116,000 towards this. They're starting like different stretch goals now and stuff, like little episode-specific sets with different numbers too, and like the packaging is amazing, and like, boy. What an initiative this is, the prisoner one. I pledged money and got the classic one, the one with the tan trousers and the number 6 badge on his lapel, Warren. Did you get the same one?
Yeah, same thing. That's the same one I got, but I'm sorely tempted to get more of this stuff.
Yeah. Very good looking stuff. So well done, nerds. This is great. Nerds are great sometimes. You know what I mean? They're just great in creating stuff like this. And last but not least, Doctor Who Time Fracture, the West End immersive show, which was, again, tying it back around to like public events and stuff. An immersive Doctor Who show opening up in the West End in the early summer. Getting there. They announced the cast of people with a company of 86 people in this cast to bring this Doctor Who immersive.
That's a huge cast.
Huge cast. So... very intriguing. Maybe one day we will go see this if it's still on at some point. Maybe you'll go see it in November, Chris, if you're thinking of going to the UK in November, if that's going to be a thing. Who knows?
It would be nice.
Who knows, everyone? Anyway, that's it. That's it for our news and banter section. After the break, it's the respectable episode of Torchwood. It's Small Worlds. Welcome back. Yes, Torchwood Revisited, Episode 5, Small Worlds. Haven't seen it in like 15 years. I'm reliably remembering that this is a good episode of Torchwood.
That would be unreliably remembering. I mean, it might be good, but 15 years, come on, we don't know.
I seem to recall this was one of the better received ones, yeah.
Yeah, like after...
it's one of those mid-season ones, you're like, oh, okay, I'll stick with you for now, and then, oh, maybe not.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, it did follow Cyberwoman, which at the time I quite enjoyed. And then, history has informed me that it's not as good an episode as perhaps I originally thought.
History and our viewing recently has also informed us that it's not a very good episode.
For you, dear listener, I mean, these are probably coming out every week. We recorded those first 4 Torchwood episodes like last year. Like they've been in the camp for so long, so we've had to sit and forget about Cyberwoman for a long time before we get into this. So
it takes a while to forget about
post-election. That's not American election.
I was pre. I think it was like November, or October.
So we subjected ourselves to that and Torchwood. Okay.
I know we did. Yeah, and here we are now. So anyway, I hope you got legally purchased Blu-rays, DVDs, HD DVDs. I'm sure this probably came out on HDVD back in the day.
It might have. We recorded the first 4 in December.
It was December.
Oh, okay. So
Early
it's
December.
post-election.
Yeah.
But still, that's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
As we record this in, February, 2 months later.
That's true.
2 months almost to the day.
I know. And now you're hearing this probably in April. So hope you enjoy the post-pandemic world, everybody. We're still stuck here in February, riddled with COVID.
Arrogant Aprilians with your vaccines and your joie de vivre.
You show
We're in our
offs.
bunkers.
All right, here we go, folks. Torchwood, Season 1, Episode 5, Small Worlds in 3, 2, 1, play. And this is, I can't remember what we determined. This isn't the recap. This is the show recap. This is what the show's about.
Show intro,
Yes.
I guess.
Preamble? Is that what it would be called? We call this a preamble?
Yeah, preamble's probably better than anything else.
Yeah.
It is when everything changes.
Sizzle,
He wasn't wrong
sizzle
about
reel?
that. I'll give him.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it a sizzle. I'm mildly amazed that it's on the original episodes, because like if you bought the DVD, like, okay, we know what's going on here,
Was that a BBC thing, like introducing stuff in this way? I seem to remember Hustle did this too.
Maybe they did it I've only watched like the first few episodes of Hustle.
It's quite well put together, as I recall.
Yeah, it is. It's actually funny. We've been watching, Erica and I started watching Hustle. Lots of great Doctor Who actors in there, of course, like early 2005, I think it is. And then she's been watching Leverage at the time of recording because, of course, they're coming out with a new one. So she wants to watch them all again. And that came out like 3 years after Hustle started. And I feel like it definitely owes a stylistic thank you to Hustle.
Well, Americans ripping off the Brits is kind of a standard.
Yeah, there's tons of Doctor Who references in Leverage. Tons. It's ridiculous.
Wasn't it? Yeah, it's written by a fan of the show, I think.
Yeah, John Rogers.
There we go. I was going to say, wouldn't it be like worthwhile to bring some sort of like visual?
She did it.
Shooting with a flash. Good God, what is this?
Come on. What? No, those photos are going to turn out terrible. Come on.
And those are just dips to black anyway, so come
Yeah.
on again. Or dips to white, I suppose.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I just love, I was thinking about this day. You got a movie like Avengers, Endgame, and Infinity War, which cost, I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars. And yet, when Thanos snaps his fingers, the big deal, the whole thing, it's a dip to white, baby.
Yep.
That's all it
you need.
is. Don't
That's
need
all you
anything
need.
else.
Yeah.
Old tricks are the best tricks.
Definitely.
So,
PJ
$1 zillion
Hammond.
worth of Thanos CGI and a dip to white.
Obviously, we're nowhere near season 2 of Torchwood yet, but the PJ Hammond episode from season 2, I seem to recall one of you guys really hated
Hated it.
Which one was it?
that was the one with the carnival.
Oh, Alice Troughton. It's just an awful episode. I can't wait to get to that one next year.
I can't
sometime.
remember, so I must have hated it.
Oh, hey, here we go. I don't remember this.
What is Jack doing? Is he like in his isolation tank or something?
Sure.
Just shirtless.
He's shirtless. That's all you need to know.
That's
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah. That's the main point here. I forgot about this.
The
You
White
can tell
Sox.
John Barrowman's age because we're not going to see any more shirtless shots of Jack.
No offense to John Barrowman, but
And I say this as a lumpy 50-year-old, so fair enough.
Look
Still
at him emote.
yeah.
He's gotten better. He definitely has gotten better.
I thought, yeah, he was I don't know what his acting history is even. I know that he always has a history in light entertainment, but I thought he was quite good in Revelation of the Daleks. Revolution.
Hell, even Children of Men. Yeah. I keep saying Children of Men. Children of Earth.
Men.
He's quite good in.
Both are good. Children and Men and Children of Earth are bona fide.
I would have to say Children of Earth Men is a better film than
Well,
Children of Earth is a show, but they're both excellent.
but they're very good. They're both exceedingly good.
And bleak as hell.
Very bleak. That's the thing with children. There's some children there. This is already bleak. There's children. Everything with children is bleak in the name.
Except you're the one that always says, when you have children, you know it's going to be fine because they won't kill them.
Well, in Doctor Who, yeah. Except then Thin Ice came along and Sarah Dollard says, nah, we're going to kill that child. That child gets dragged through the ice.
Pedo alert.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's some Utri action happening here, and I'm not very comfortable with it.
This isn't good. This is what makes... Oh, I like good direction here from Alice Troughton. A bit of a crane shot here.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this the year of the crane? They had a crane, so they used it over and over.
Well, I mean, it's pre-drone. You do that now
Yeah.
with a drone, I imagine.
That's true, yeah. And drone is the new crane. in terms of,
Drone?
I'm tired of seeing this.
I'm a little bit tired of drone shots too, but...
I mean, it depends. Like in Fugitive the Jadoon. That's a good drone shot that
Superb.
thematically
At the lighthouse,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
But sometimes there's drone shots just to have drone shots, and there's no need for that.
I agree. I just think of all the expensive helicopter shots we see in this series, and how cheaply they would be done with a drone today, but how expensive it was back then to rent a helicopter.
Honestly, if I felt like blowing money, I could go down to Best Buy and buy a DJI. I can't remember what the model is, but it's like $500. And you could shoot 4K, and you could program like flights into it and all sorts of stuff. That's something that would be an insane amount of money, even when this was being shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's $500 at a consumer electronics store. Okay, dude, that's enough. I'm already creeped out.
Yeah.
Also, this guy looks like Mark Gatiss.
I thought he reminded me of, but it's not him. I thought it was Lee from the UK office, but I hope. Oh, he will get his comeuppance from the.
I wonder how much he was told about this role before he did it. Well, here's what you're going to do. You're going to play. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
This is
Then
going to be.
imagine getting stereotyped.
Yeah. It's
There's
like
one
in.
typecasting you don't want.
I know in this country, in my country, or it's actually American. I think there's this nasal like spray thing, like those Novage unit where it's like it's like basically like a neti pot. And this actress who did the first commercial for it, and she came back to do the second. So her whole commercial is squirting water up her nose, and she's done 2 of them. And I'm thinking, well done. At least you found a niche. I don't know if you're, I recognize you. You're from the neti pot commercial.
Here's the thing. A gig is a gig.
That's true.
If you're an actor and you're getting paid to do acting, then what the hell?
Have you ever read about the Cotterley fairies? Is that what they're called?
The fake thing?
Yeah, like I look at that picture now and I realize like how are people suckered into this? Obviously they're cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, but at the time, photography wasn't, was fairly new. So
like 20s, 30s, 40s. I don't remember what it was.
Here's an example. Remember, I saw Coney 2012 and said this is obviously complete BS. But most people just watched the thing on the internet and said this must be true.
Right.
Only my TV background made me go, this is way too slick to be anything near true.
It makes me think about UFO. I was watching a thing about UFOs. The fact that the U.S. Secret Service doesn't even refer to them as UFO. It's like unidentified aircraft or something now. But we don't see as many UFO hoaxes anymore because anyone can do any special effect now on their phone if they needed to.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like all the hoaxes have dried up. But back in the day, it's like, whoa, what is that? It's a Sasquatch.
Also, I'd like to point out even more ridiculous than fairies is a slideshow with a slide projector.
Apparently, the first couple photos were 1917.
17, jeez.
Yeah.
Single-handedly won the First World War for Great Britain.
It wasn't tanks or starvation.
No.
It was slideshows.
There were slideshows of Cotterley fairies, yeah. Gwen looks bored. Is she a Time Lord?
Well, she's waiting for a phone call from Jack in the future as he talks to 13. Am I misremembering my Torchwood, or was this like an old girlfriend of Jack's?
No, I
Old
think
girlfriend of Jack's.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
She just referred to Jack's father, who was actually Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Spoilers.
Yes.
That's Jack. Oh, that's right. That's right. I haven't seen this episode in like 15 years because that's part of this. That's part of why we're doing this, folks. You're listening to us watch this again for the first time in many years. It's part of the hook.
I gotta say, HD of 2005 has very little dynamic range.
My word.
A lot of juddering going on here.
Well, it could be just the quality of the Blu-ray rip, but still.
But also, like the highlights are getting kind of clipped.
Yeah, we've made mention of the vid-firedness nature of the HD footage we're watching.
It was a weird in-between time.
Yeah. I don't know what the history of HD at the BBC was. I know that this, they didn't make Doctor Who in HD because they didn't feel like they could do it justice with the effects. But they thought, well, we'll try it with Torchwood. What the hell? Torchwood is the guinea pig.
It wasn't that far off. It was 2008 that they did Doctor Who HD?
Yeah,
2009.
Planet of the Dead.
Yeah, they shot it in 2008. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look bad.
No.
Well, it came
No,
out
it
in July,
doesn't.
Easter
April.
2009, so they
Yeah.
were shot at 2008, yeah.
They did actually. Yeah, they did shoot in 2008. That's gross.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
even
like
more
he-
gross than blood, and it's just flour.
Yeah.
It's like he tried to steal flowers in the flower stall, and
Yeah.
it just didn't work out for him.
My secret shame. Somebody had to say it.
It kind of
There's a support group somewhere for that.
it reminds me of like BBC Two went to color first. I think in 1968. I think.
That is quite the stretch, sir.
What's a stretch?
Comparing HD and the color.
No, I'm just they didn't do color for BBC One first. They did it for BBC Two.
Oh, I see.
Let's test drive it on BBC Two and work out all the kinks, and then we'll do it with the main shows. And sadly, Torchwood being a BBC Three joint at this time was deemed acceptable enough to try HD.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah.
She's protected by the mafia.
Yeah.
The fairy mafia.
Now that's the show I want to watch. This kid is a mafioso. That'd be great.
Oh, Morokoro.
All right, I'm on board. There's a cat.
Hey, little kitty. Look at that kitty. Of course,
Cats shouldn't go outside. Dogs.
It's a floof.
Yeah. The sad thing about literally every single cat I watch on TV, cat or dog, is that they've probably passed on by now.
Yep.
Well, I mean, there's been. I was watching Being There the other day, and everybody in that film is dead.
Everyone in this dead. Yeah. Is Shirley MacLaine dead? I don't.
Well, okay, she isn't.
Okay.
But I think pretty much everybody else is.
As time of recording, of course, but I never. Let's call a moratorium on talking about which actors are alive as we talk about
fair.
record something that's coming out in 2 months' time. Could lead to all sorts of problems. That is a young John Barrowman right there. Not really, just a.
It's a well-coiffed John Barrowman as well.
Actually, he looks good in the white hair now. Just John
Yes, he
Barrowman.
does.
To the point where it's weird seeing him in brown hair.
I know, yeah. Just like, oh, you own that, buddy. I'm pretty sure he dyes that, just like he was dyeing the black hair too. But or maybe not. Actually, I don't know.
If you're saying that John Barrowman is a touch vain, I'm not sure I agree, sir.
No, well, I mean, my dad went white, basically. He has like a nice shock of white hair, and I'm hoping that's what's in store for me. Sorry, Warren.
Like
to talk
Roger
about-
Delicato?
Like no, like full on head of white hair, like hers right there.
Yeah,
like
my
that
mom
hair.
was like that in her 20s.
Wow, what the hell did you do
late
to her?
20s, she started going, wow, here I am.
Yeah, exactly. Like, man, I'm not surprised, to be honest. But what is that insignia on the back of her coat?
She's in a biker gang.
Perhaps the mafia that the young child's a part of.
Could be, yep.
Glengarry Glen Ross. Alice Troughton's a good director. I can't remember if she had done Doctor Who by now or would do Doctor Who later.
Now, because I'm a dummy, is she of the family Troughton?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Or at least if it's a relation, it's a distant one. Despite how many families
This
Troughton had
was,
on the go, but
This was her first work in the Whoniverse.
right.
She did Out of Time and Small Worlds, and then she did some Sarah Jane, then she did some Doctor Who.
Okay.
So she worked her way up through the minors, I guess.
The miners. I'm trying to think now. This will probably, here we go. This is a big swooping shot. I'm trying to think, did any director go from Doctor Who to Torchwood? Maybe not during this first year, I don't think. Because honestly, they might be just, when this is being shot, Doctor Who season 3 is probably in pre-production at this point. They're getting ready to shoot. So then
And they were shooting like next to each other on the soundstage as well.
were they shooting next to each other? I didn't know.
Oh yeah, the hub was right next to the TARDIS set. Don't you remember those confidentials where they'd go from like one to the other?
Well, I do, but I'm not sure they were actually shooting around the same time. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if they were like simultaneously shooting, but like
Yeah.
the sets were next to each other on the stage.
I have to think that Torchwood obviously didn't have the budget that Doctor Who did. I don't know what the shooting schedules were like. Doctor Who shot 12 to 13 days for one 45-minute episode. I don't know if Torchwood would get that same amount of time. Plus, it's basically the same crew, like all the camera crew is essentially the same as Doctor Who. So
They got a lot of work. They must have been very tired.
right? I mean, probably thankful for all the work, especially in the days of Conan Doyle believed him. That's right. I remember reading about that.
Yep.
Oscar
Conan Doyle was into some like esoteric borderline stuff, though.
Yeah.
Well, most of Victorian England was. They're so damn repressed.
Good point.
Everything was new.
Mm-hmm.
Not like totally normal and not weird at all 21st century us.
No, we're perfectly fine.
21st century is where it all changes.
It is where it all changes. It is a good set. Has to be said. That set, the whole Torchwood hub. It's impressive.
The whole, the verticality of it is nice, and I know you like vertical sets, but
I love vertical sets.
I like the clutter. Like it looks lived in.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a really well thought out set.
Because I made that Simpsons quote, I couldn't stop. But Mo, can Homer sustain verticality for 10 rounds? I've used verticality far too many times in that context.
Verticality.
It's that
Probably
word.
Verticality.
It's that word they use in that episode. Fustigating.
Fustigate.
So,
yeah.
Something like that.
Verticality. Ward has fought with verticality or tried to maintain it to many a time at Gallifrey 1 as I recall.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that's one thing I just thought of. I'm not going to be hungover this weekend.
Yeah.
This weekend being probably several months prior
ago.
when you hear it.
I mean, it's got to take some gumption to admit you like little girls to, a station full of police
No, it
officers.
doesn't.
That's true.
No, absolutely not.
It's not a defense thing. No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's I'm not.
I thought Burton Gorman behind them there was just a kid wandering around, but no, he's like he looks like he's wearing like his dad's cargo pants. They're too big for him.
There's a
He's like, I'm a Ghostbuster.
there's a promo pic from one of the Big Finish Torchwood releases with him and Tom Price.
Yeah.
PC Andy. And just how much shorter Burn Gorman is than Tom Price. He's
Also,
not
Tom Price is not aged from what I can
he's
tell.
not a tall man.
Yeah. No, he's great though. I've interviewed him a couple times. Burn Gorman.
He of Pacific Rim fame and The Dark Knight Rises.
And Game
Absolutely.
of Thrones, and yeah.
Not like star of the second Star Trek film, Noel Clark.
That's true. He's in that. I forgot about that. Is that the second? Oh God, that's right. He was in it. And
I've
then,
forgotten a lot about Star Trek
yeah.
Darkness, including what's her name? I can't remember her real name, but Avasarala in The Expanse.
Shurag Udushloo, something
Thank
like
you.
that.
Oh,
She has a very distinctive voice. She's in it at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was first saw her in 24. She was really good there.
She's amazing in The Expanse. She may be my favorite character in The Expanse, and nobody can swear like she can.
She is very good in a movie called House of Sand and Fog with Ben Kingsley and Jennifer Connelly. That's where she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, I think.
And that was going back a bit too.
That is like 2003, 2004, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
It could be somewhere in there.
Yeah, just a thought here, but
Right.
is this pedophilia subplot really all that necessary at all? Can we just have some deadly fairies, please?
Well, I mean, it shows that the fairies are benevolent and trying to protect the small child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically.
but
And-
I don't know. Put
yeah.
this kid in lower stakes danger, please.
It could have been bullies. It should have been just bullies at schools.
Yeah.
It should have tormented other children. That's what it should have been. Right? Right.
Now, having said that, that's my major problem with this so far. It's actually not that bad otherwise.
Right.
Although nobody ever calls Jack on that ridiculous Bluetooth.
just this thing hanging.
What's
off his
so
ear.
what? Okay, so what's more ridiculous? So the
Right.
Bluetooth earpiece or the blue lights going up and down at the side of the windscreen on the SUV?
The Bluetooth earpiece.
Oh,
Come on.
they've all got dumb Bluetooths.
I would love to have the blue lights going up and down. That's fun. This thing that he's got, this sort of dental
Especially
implant.
for a covert op.
Yeah, he's got like half of braces, like he's got there, and they predate stainless steel, so he can't get them wet. And there you go. There's your Simpson callback. Have they all got them on? Yeah, she does too. Like, look at those ridiculous things. Bluetooth in 2006. I remember they were
For a hot
huge.
minute, those are cool again. I saw.
Oh God, come
LaGuardia
on.
Airport, and I saw a bunch of business guys with those sort of, and I was like, are these things coming back? Are these like the man buns of electronics? What's going on?
Technology. I never had one. I missed all that. I missed that entire.
I have never once had one. No.
No, I would never need one.
I guess we all do since
That's
we
a
have
good thing.
AirPods, but
Yeah, that's true. I'm quite fascinated by AirPods, given that the microphone is basically like on your ear and how it manages
pretty
to
effective.
pick people up. Yeah.
I think it was Jabra, who there's like bone conduction is what they use
Oh.
in the past. So, like the movement of your jawbone would be enough to
that
get to
creeps me
capture
out
the voice.
for undetermined reasons.
Yeah. I don't trust it either. Actually, Warren.
Also, I want somebody to send this,
Heckity,
this,
heckity,
episode
heckity,
to
heckity.
Don Cherry and nice to Don Cherry and tell him that poppies are coming out of that guy's mouth just to watch him react. Now look at this guy here, this Brit, this immigrant eating poppies. It's disrespectful, I tell you.
Oh.
Something Swedish hockey players.
A, I don't want to ever talk about Don Cherry again. And B, that was a surprisingly accurate impersonation of him there, Warren.
I loathe Don Cherry. I
Yeah.
have since the 80s.
Oof.
I remember there was some show on Global ITV at the time, and his stupid show was on before that. And it was just like, this is more insulting to my intelligence than Scooby-Doo, and it's aimed at adults.
I know exactly.
Everybody
what you
on
mean.
this is an idiot.
So you weren't first in line to get the latest Rock'em Sock'em hockey video?
No, I loathe everything about the man. He was like everything. It's like when Trump was elected. If you allow me this digression, and I was like, oh, so stupid is in charge now. That's
Yeah.
great. That's exactly how I felt about Cherry. I'm like, why is this man who is clearly borderline deficient being allowed a place on television?
I like how Torchwood HQ. Oh, the Mara.
Mara.
Hey, reference. Everyone, drink for the reference. That's like basically here's where genre sci-fi TV is these days. Like here's the one subtle reference to like Snake Dance and Kinda. And then nowadays where you there's an episode of WandaVision goes out and then a video that comes out. Here are the 73 Easter eggs you missed on this past
Okay, but
week's
here's the
episode of
thing.
WandaVision.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure there were live journals with all the Easter eggs, and it's just easier to get to now.
I don't know if there are Easter eggs.
There
in
was
this.
just as much obsessive nerd idiocy back
I
then as
know.
there is now.
Listen, Warren,
Trust me.
I have seen The Creature from the Pit 114 times, and I don't recognize anything of that in this episode here. So
Okay, there's a big difference between a Torchwood episode and Creature from the Pit, and WandaVision
Is there?
drawing on. Yes, WandaVision is drawing on a huge global
Yeah.
franchise,
All
way
right.
way bigger than Doctor Who
Well,
will ever be.
well, Torchwood could also draw upon 40 odd years at this point of Doctor Who history.
Yes,
so-
my point is,
All right.
if WandaVision has Easter eggs from
Right.
10 years of a giant pile of movies
All right.
and 60 odd years of comics,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Which
They're throwing in like a
you can watch
references to
without knowing any
comics.
of that. I do.
No. I don't watch the show. I don't watch any television show other than Doctor Who and Kitten Academy. Cat live cams are my sole source of entertainment.
I just think, honestly, Stephen, you go looking for this stuff to get mad about it.
Yeah, no. I just checked out. I enjoyed the she's going to die, isn't she? I enjoyed the spectacle of going to the movies and eating popcorn and enjoying being part of a crowd. But then once Endgame happened, I thought that is a nice place to wrap it up. I'm done. I am satisfied. And then they just keep carrying on. I just
WandaVision's
don't
nothing
care
like
anymore.
Endgame. That's the whole point.
I heard it is actually. It's pretty much exactly like it.
I'm sure you did. Probably from a YouTube video with 73 Easter eggs.
I mean, they have like the same
thumbnail of
cast
some
members
idiot
in
going,
it.
bro,
Oh.
having a seizure.
I mean, all the same people are in it. There's those guys. That guy's a robot, but then he's not. The woman who like says things really quick or something. I don't know what her superpower is, but
I mean, I know I'm being like taunted here, but I can't resist.
I don't see. I found new ways to taunt you, Warren. You know, it's only getting directors right. I mean, correcting you on directors can only go so far. Do not expect that cat to save you. That cat will do nothing of the sort.
No cat will save you.
No
Cats
cat
do
will
not care.
save you. That cat will eat you when you are dead.
That cat has spent your entire life waking you up at 3 a.m. He is not going to bother saving you. Because he's hungry momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
Or, for example, here's another example. My girlfriend's cat meowed like crazy for like a good solid half hour, scratching at the door. We open the door. She comes in, turns around, goes back out.
Yep.
Like, thanks, cat. Thanks for torturing us for no reason.
I wanted the option to come into this room. I didn't want to come into this room.
I have now exercised it. Goodbye.
Yep.
Good day to you.
Died from obviously a reference to the mind of evil. Obviously,
Easter egg number 75. Is Jack actually Mephisto?
Whoa!
Cue thumbnail of me going, huh? Actually, I think this episode predates YouTube, doesn't it?
When did you two come around? I'm
Predates?
sure Chris will
No.
Google that.
2005? So maybe not. Okay. So not, but barely.
It's not that. I mean, when did Facebook come around?
2000. Well, publicly mid 2000s.
Mid 2000s.
Before that, it was private at Harvard or whatever.
Sure. Twitter was.
And it's never been any good at all.
2009, I think.
2007 or 8 for sure. I joined in 2008. So
I think early. I think just after my first galley or just before. In 09. I just thinking like where
when they tell us they care about me and they want me to remember terrible things I don't remember.
I mean, this
they
is
care
back,
about you. Here's some torture.
This is back when we gathered on forums a lot more. This is our outlet to talk about Doctor Who and Torchwood and stuff.
yeah,
those were the days, my friend.
news groups and
Nothing
IRC back in the 90s.
I never was in news groups. I didn't have a computer until 99. Got my first computer. It looked very much like that one in the background. Probably not, actually. It was a full-on cathode ray tube, but... Aw. Captain Jack is reminiscing. I've forgotten the status of this show. Everyone knows that Captain Jack's immortal, right? Yes, because he died at the beginning of the very first episode and then came back to life. That's right. Don't mind me.
That's nice. A little sepia tone action.
Yeah, I think that was probably stock footage because it looked like film. This is not.
Because this is not, well, it's sepia tone, I suppose. But
British troops in Lahore, I'm sure, doing upstanding work like all the British Army.
Absolutely. What could possibly be problematic about this?
Nothing at all. Just stand up, British troops, good fellows all.
In a fine, compassionate empire.
Yeah, just like, here we are, benevolence.
No blemishes whatsoever.
None at all.
I keep expecting that harmonica to go in, that's what friends are for.
I was walking around the grocery store the other day, and the harmonica solo from What's Love Got to Do With It came on. I'm thinking, that is not even a real harmonica. And I remember, like, the fake-sounding harmonica was a thing in those days. Stevie Wonder used it, too. And just like, what is this nonsense?
That and the saxophone.
Yeah,
replaced in the 2000s by the guest rapper with one chorus.
It was definitely the guest rapper. Yeah, I know. Golly. Snoop Dogg was basically the Kenny G of his
for
days.
No particularly good reason.
Yep. Anyway, dramatic scene happening here in Sepia Land.
Also, John Barrowman can rock the early colonial outfit, I have to say.
Yeah. And the hair. It's
what atrocities did he perpetrate?
Oh, goodness
Because he probably did.
Yeah. Uncomfortable. I don't know the history of the British Empire in India and what became
That's probably
Pakistan.
not good. That's a good safe bet.
I mean, it was 1909 in Lahore, which is now, of course, in Pakistan. I don't know what was going on. I'm ignorant to that part of history, I'm afraid.
Well, you should refer to Demons of the Punjab as all your history comes from Doctor Who.
Yeah, sometimes, yes, it does. It does springboard me into thinking and wanting to learn about other history, though. These reputable Torchwood episodes aren't as much fun to commentate over.
No, they are not.
No.
Hence our endless digressing.
I know. How dare they make a serviceable piece of television?
I keep thinking these are the things from Father's Day.
Oh, the Reapers.
Oh, yeah, kind of shot in the same way, aren't they?
Or from a school reunion.
Yeah, the acrylotane, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Around the same time.
Just due to that shot with all the weird coloring.
Yeah, probably the same filter. Oh, dear. That's a little bit blasé. I wouldn't have reacted like that. I would be a little more upset. How rare. A sunny day in Cardiff when they shot this. He's going to put a stop to things.
They're probably annoyed. Because all the cameras are calibrated for crap. It's not cloudy, we hate it.
Mm-hmm. Like we paid for cloud.
This guy's a jerky stepdad, or whatever he is.
Yeah. Why did Estelle die again? I wasn't paying attention. Did she angered...
I mean, what kind of cold ass thing is that to say to a kid?
Oh, she angered the fairies or something, didn't she? Or something like that?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I'm not paying attention, man. Come on.
No, I feel like this guy's going to get some almost comeuppance
Yeah, I believe
too.
he'll get some
But
comeuppance.
you don't have
Well,
friends. He is a jerk.
As the stepfather, he's the evil one, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
As with all step parents, according to television drama. Oh, I think that's probably catch the buggers by surprise.
There's some real
probably an altered lyric.
Village of the Damned vibes coming off these kids.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to get blamed. Jasmine, why are you falling on the ground?
Be a
Inviting
grass.
bullying.
Be a grass. Which one of you grassed on me? Which one of you is a grass? No. Damn fairies. Was this a set, I wonder? Or were they shooting on location at this point? Did they have a standing set? They probably had a standing set for Gwen's home, I'll bet.
I would think so.
Yeah, these are the things I like to know. I know they were shooting a lot.
I mean, it shows up enough, right? So
yeah, they probably were. Because I think Doctor Who was like 70% on location back in those days. I'm trying to think what was their... They've been in 3 studios, right? Or was it only 2? They're in...
Like classic series or?
No, the modern show.
Well, Rothlock, the one that came before Rothlock, and...
Yeah. And I feel like they moved to Rothlock. Is that the most recent one when they moved to Rothlock? God, I should know this.
I want to say yes, but I couldn't swear to it.
No, I just know that when they moved, they couldn't take the TARDIS set with them because it was basically built into the infrastructure, and so that's predominantly why they built a brand new one for Matt Smith's tenure, because it was. Oh no, it was the move between Matt Smith's. It was the Matt Smith one, the original one, and they couldn't bother to move, I think, is how it worked out. And so that's why they built a new one by Michael Pickwood. I think that's how it goes. Don't correct me. Don't at me, folks. I'm trying to remember here. I've got a Doctor Who magazine sitting next to me somewhere. I can look this up. But anyway, the reason I was wondering is because I think during the first times at those studios, there was the TARDIS set, and basically they went to the Cardiff Millennium Center to shoot literally everything. This is very PJ Hammond-esque.
What's the
Or,
typical Canadian weather?
Or Drew Barrymore Firestarter, one or the other.
Oh, very nice.
There you go. Those are the bullies right there. See, they're going to get killed.
The trees. The trees are the bad people.
The thoughts. The thoughts.
It's been a very Yanto-led episode. He gazed at somebody and that was it.
Yeah, that's right. I imagine he has a full episode of his own opposite this.
That's some crappy hammering. And I'm not very good at home repair.
Well,
But
that's
even
why,
I know that's bad hammering.
that's why he's a bad stepdad, you see. Torchwood in there.
Secret. Yep, they're so secretive.
Well, it is black on black. I mean,
I guess.
I defy anyone to pick out that.
I
unless you're
guarantee
standing
at
right
night
next
that's
to
a
it.
Christmas light montage.
Flashing.
Little LEDs and
Yeah.
multicolored rainbows.
Yeah. Top secret organization. Oh, we just put it on black. Oh, we're supposed to be secret. I know, but still, it would look kind of cool, wouldn't it? Like, where'd you get that? Like,
Maybe
did
there's a
they
perception filter around the truck too.
maybe that's what it is. But so they can emblazon it with logos and stuff.
So he can
No,
just be showy and it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Did we ever learn where? I mean, they had to get it from somewhere. They had to get it from some deal. That is a ridiculous thing that he has on his face.
What is that?
That
It looks like
Bluetooth
HAL
thing.
9000 dripping
Oh, it's
off his ear.
Look at that. It's like a drinks fountain. Like that is.
That's
comical.
Meccano. That's what that is.
It is Meccano. Look at that.
It's not even
But,
Lego.
you know,
It's Meccano.
but in 2006 or 7, we're probably thinking, oh, yeah, super futuristic. It's got a blue light on the end of it. Well, that's obviously futuristic.
All right, kids. Meccano predated Lego and was basically like girders and screws.
I don't know if for predate. I was certainly into the 1970s and probably early 80s, I think, because I had a friend who had
but
it.
it came out before because my dad had it as a kid.
Oh,
And that's like the late 40s and early 50s.
okay. It was like made of mercury or something like that, and all these children died of mercury
It
poisoning.
was sharp as hell. I had this set when I was a kid. And it was not, it was hazardous, man. It was not, not good.
Probably fired projectiles and stuff.
Green steel and screws, and you put it together into like various contraptions. It
Yeah,
was cool, but yeah, it wasn't safe. Like everything from the 70s.
it's basically like Tinker Toys, but with edges, essentially.
It's like, listen, kids, we fought the Nazi hordes. The least you could do is cut yourselves on this.
do not play with Mikado in the bath. He will be electrocuted.
But it's not even electrical. Shut up.
See, it will be if you rub two Mikado together. Guess what? Electrical current, bath water, electrocuted.
The only thing I remember is the instruction set was a typical thing with two boys playing with Meccano,
Actually.
and the dad looking on with his pipe in hand. It was ridiculously 1950s.
Good job, fellas. And only fellas, might I say, on playing with those metal objects. They're probably made from like leftover casings from the Korean War or something like that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
They still have ammunition in them? Shut up! Build your Mikado! Build your robot or whatever the hell he is.
Just out of curiosity, does Meccano still exist?
I
think so.
I'm curious. You let me know. Who is bringing the Jello casserole here to this
Indeed, it does.
patio party? Is it really? Where do you find this
Yeah.
Meccano?
I just Googled it, and it's like they're just making toys now. But it's
Oh.
you know, it's kind of what it was before, with obviously plastic and a lot safer.
Right. Is it really though? Is
It's
plastic
basically
the
it's
same
basically
thing?
Lego Technics is what it basically.
Oh,
is,
hey,
from what I
hey,
can
hey,
tell.
careful now.
Well, it's not as good, but it's the same basic idea.
Oh. Ow.
That's right.
Whoa!
Snap him in two. No, snap him in two,
Jeez.
not her. Throwing a bee bomb at this kid. Come on.
I know. Like, this is so 2007. Hit
This
the
guy, I
child.
actually hit him more than the pedophile, which is telling you something. Because that pedophile's not good on account of him being a pedophile.
Mm-hmm. No, it won't. It's Cardiff. That is the exact same
doing
pinwheel.
outside. It's Cardiff.
That's the exact same pinwheel as seen in 11th Hour. The exact same prop. It's not. Is that the same house? Is that Amy Pond's house?
Maybe. Could be.
It doesn't. Oh, probably not. Probably looks a little newer.
It's a lot better lit if it is. In
Well-
Doctor Who.
Oh, I see. which is also made in
It's
HD.
what I called a
but-
child a bee.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, he's gonna propose, isn't he? Oh,
But I'm
nuts.
leaving her, so that's enough of that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh dear.
Sweet. To be fair, these, and I may eat these words when we see them close up, but these are actually better than the Father's Day creatures.
Well, I mean, 2 years had passed. Ooh, they're kind of creepy looking.
Okay, maybe not.
They do look a little like Xbox game cutscene kind
A
of.
little bit, yeah. But they're detailed and they got cool translucent wings.
Yeah. He doesn't quite know where to look. I don't think his eyeliner was quite matching where the creepy fairy was. Does he get killed? Oh.
But yeah,
Should
that
be
is
killed.
kind of a Xbox Game Pass, not even a AAA creature. Your free game for this month, Murderous Fairies.
Yeah.
Indie Spotlight.
Yeah, interacting with CG characters was a relatively new thing, I think, at the time. You know? Hell, if
And now
I'm
not to
going to...
blither on endlessly about Endgame, but they just throw clothes on people that are
Yeah,
CG,
I know.
and you don't even know.
If I'm going to celebrate Scene Sync, then I'm going to celebrate that too, damn it. You know, it's early days for all this technology, let's face it.
Yeah, and this is purely a function of age and pig-headedness.
Mm-hmm.
The old stuff is cooler.
Yeah, why is that?
Because we're old.
Oh.
Like,
Is that it?
I'm sure a 20-year-old now
Oh.
seeing something. Well, here's an example. My coworker is, I guess he just turned 30, but I was talking about Superman 1978. He's like, that cheesy, crappy film. I'm like, how dare you? If you don't want to get hit, you will stop talking immediately.
He was awful, woman. He was awful. Believe me, you have been saved.
Yes.
Yeah. She's evil. I don't trust her. He does look young, doesn't he? John Barrowman. It's kind of a shame that PJ Hammond never wrote for Doctor Who.
Did they? They must have asked him. They must have done.
I think they had to have at some point.
What else did PJ Hammond do? Maybe
he did
get better
Sapphire
odds?
and
He wrote one
Steel.
of the things for Sapphire and Steel.
No, he wrote. He was Sapphire and Steel, basically.
Yeah.
He wrote all but one of the things for Sapphire and Steel.
Did he do that?
Yeah,
He was
Don-
the Ian McIntosh of Sapphire and Steel.
yeah, he was actually. Yeah,
Or Michael J. Straczynski. Yes, Chip, are you happy now?
J. Michael.
Michael J.
Ah, whatever the hell
Straczynski.
his name is.
Yeah.
Began work on Dixon of Doc Green and Z Cars. Okay. Or Z Cars.
Zed Cars, thank you.
Z Cars
Born-
sounds better.
Born in the 30s. Wow.
PJ Hammond. Holy crap!
Yeah. There he was. Yeah, he was approached to write in the mid 1980s
I'm not surprised. I wonder why he backed down.
by Eric Sayward.
Yeah,
And
that's-
rejected by J&T.
Oh, God, J&T. No, I know this ambulance driver. He's got a great story featuring H.G. Wells. I think we should use it.
Well, I am a heavy drinker, and so is this guy, so why not?
I met him in the BBC bar. I saw him on a publicity photo. He was holding
Well, I said
court at a
BBC
wedding.
bar, I mean the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
you're
in a
right.
pool of his vomit, not my own.
Yeah, you're right. Hammond wrote 5 of the 6 Sapphire and Steel serials.
Yes, I would.
I'd forgotten he was that involved.
Oh, yeah, he was that.
He
Involved.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don Houghton wrote the other story.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
The
Jack
script-
getting
The
angry.
script he was going to
Yeah.
do for Trial of a Time Lord was revived and Big Finishified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it was, or I'm
Yep.
Yeah, Big Finish made it into it. They just had an outline, but then it was really revived and
yeah.
made into a full cast thing with Colin Baker for the Lost Story season.
I've forgotten the ending of this. I have to say, I didn't think she'd run off and become a fairy.
Yeah, she does. Apparently, when this went out, he had also written an episode of Midsummer Murders, and this went out opposite that.
Wow, I have seen that episode of Midsummer Murders. That's right. I don't remember what happened in it.
Presumably
But,
because you've seen all episodes of Midsummer Murders.
no. Well, almost. Or like in season 10. It's holy crap. She died. I don't remember this. I don't remember this at all. This sets a precedent for Captain willingly sacrificing children for the sake of saving the universe.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, in Children of Earth, at least it was his own grandson, grandson.
Yeah, it was
Grandson,
pretty cold.
God, it was cold and dark and damn effective. I forgot about this child. She was awful. No one liked her. Stepdad is crap.
Well, that justifies child murder now,
Yeah,
doesn't
of course
It's
does.
also the juxtaposition of
There it is,
the
very
child and then all the balloons out front.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah. Wow, I completely forgot that she died at the end of this. That was
So did I.
somewhat shocking. Wow. Well, that's cast a pall on everything. Thanks, PJ Hammond. Suppose he can do that on Torchwood. He can kill children. Maybe that's why I enjoyed this episode so much at the time, thinking, wow, they were daring enough to kill a child.
And his
I keep
second
expecting
one,
you to say to PJ Harvey.
Yeah.
and his second one maybe had not enough child death, or maybe that's why you didn't like it.
Oh, it's not enough death whatsoever.
There's
Oh
a
my
sentence, you see, Hoffman? Not enough child
Yeah.
death.
Zoom and enhance. Zoom and enhance.
With your Palm Pilot or
Yeah.
visor, as the case may be.
Wow, she becomes Jack Nicholson at the end of the shinning.
The shinning.
Yeah. Here we go. Countryside.
I just remember this being extraordinarily violent.
I seem to recall this too. This looks like OB video. It's so great. I love it. It looks like an episode of season 3 of Survivors. This is like
Are you talking old Survivors? In the
old
70s?
school Survivors. Yeah, new Survivors never made it to season 3. Oh, I'm okay. I don't know what to think about that, but I'm looking forward to it. I think.
Violence OB video. What more do you want?
Ah,
It's Attack of the
crap.
Cybermen all over again.
Yeah. There's Brian Minchin in there.
Chris Chibnall,
Claire Pritchard. Claire Chibnall probably. I missed
Andy
that.
Pryor.
Andy Pryor. Ray
Ray
Holman. Murray Gold,
Ben
of
Foster,
course.
Murray Gold.
The
Are
Mill.
you just listening off galley guests of years gone by?
No, I just reading all the
people
people.
who did in
once
association with the CBC.
There we are. That's us right
Yeah.
there, folks. Yep. All right. Next week, as you saw, or next time anyway, just in case some late breaking news has happened in between the time we record this and the time it goes out, Countryside, everyone. We're getting to the halfway point of season 1 of Torchwood as we revisit it for Radio Free Skaro in 2021. So until next time, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Born in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.
You've been listening to Radio Free Skaro. Find us online at radiofreescaro.com. Follow us on Twitter and Tumblr at Radio Free Skaro. Subscribe to us on iTunes and donate to the show at patreon.com/Radio Free Skaro. Thank you.